This is Snow White, but not as you know it. In a world of fame and fortune, Snow White is an up-and-coming influencer whose life seems perfect from the outside. But behind her sparkling posts lies a secret darker than coal. Her stepmother, Regina, the infamous fashion mogul, controls Snow White's every move. Regina's obsession with maintaining her beauty has driven her to some extreme lengths, even if it means keeping her stepdaughter in the shadows. But Snow White is tired of living in her mother's toxic glow and is ready to step into the light all on her own terms. One day, she decides enough is enough. She's going to make a name for herself without the help of her mother's shadow. But as Snow White starts to find her own path, Regina's jealousy knows no bounds. She unleashes a series of schemes designed to keep Snow White down, proving that a wicked stepmother can be the most dangerous of them all. And when Regina's attempts to sabotage Snow White fail, she comes up with a new plan. One that will test Snow White's trust and may just break her heart. It's been said that beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. But what happens when the beholder is your own reflection? This is Snow White, a tale as old as time, reimagined for a new generation. Join me on this journey as we uncover the secrets, lies, and betrayals that lie beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect family. Who is Snow White? Who's Regina? And how did they become the way they are? And what is the mysterious force that binds them together, despite their differences? Most importantly, what does it mean to be beautiful inside and out? The story begins in the heart of a bustling city, where towering skyscrapers scrape the sky and the relentless pace of life never ceases. Here, amidst the concrete jungle, there lived two women who could not be more different. Regina, a renowned fashion mogul and the epitome of elegance, and her daughter, Snow White, a young woman with a heart of gold, but whose beauty was often overshadowed by her mother's dazzling presence. Regina's obsession with her own image was all-consuming. She doled out harsh critiques to those around her, always seeking perfection, sometimes at the expense of others' feelings. Meanwhile, Snow White found solace in her art, dreaming of a world where beauty came from more than just appearances. But the cracks in their relationship were evident. As Regina's empire grew, so did her paranoia. She saw potential threats everywhere, always fearing that someone somewhere was looking to take everything away from her. It was during one of these moments that she crossed paths with a charming and influential man named William. He was the embodiment of sophistication, a man who seemed to have it all: charm, charisma, and an unassailable reputation. As they began to navigate the treacherous waters of love and deceit, Regina found herself falling for William's charms, believing he was the missing piece in her carefully crafted life. But little did she know that he had his own secrets and his intentions were far from pure. In a moment of weakness, Regina agreed to marry William, a decision that would change their lives forever. With the wedding bells fading into memory, Regina and William embarked on a luxurious honeymoon, leaving Snow White alone in their opulent mansion. But the blissful facade soon began to crumble. Regina's insecurities took center stage once again. She started to notice fine lines and imperfections on her skin, driving her to lash out at William. The honeymoon suite transformed into a battleground of accusations and recriminations. When Regina returned home, she was colder and more distant than ever before. Snow White, sensing her mother's inner turmoil, tried to offer comfort, but Regina only pushed her away, demanding perfection from her as well. Meanwhile, William, now back in the shadows, watched the unfolding drama with a mixture of amusement and satisfaction. He had known Regina's dark side and had deliberately chosen to ignore it, hoping to exploit her vulnerabilities for his own gain. As time went on, Regina became increasingly obsessed with maintaining her beauty, convinced that it was the only thing that set her apart. She turned her mansion into a gilded cage, controlling every aspect of Snow White's life, from the clothes she wore to the friends she could see. All the while, William remained by Regina's side, feigning concern, but secretly reveling in the chaos he had created. Snow White, however, refused to be a pawn in their twisted game. She yearned for freedom and the chance to define her own beauty. But how could she escape the clutches of her controlling mother and the calculating gaze of her stepfather? The answer, as it often does, lay hidden in the complexities of their relationships, waiting to be discovered. Determined to carve out her own path in life, Snow White began to explore the world beyond her mother's mansion. She discovered a vibrant community of artists and free spirits who embraced her for who she was, not for her looks or connections. In this newfound community, Snow White blossomed. She launched her own fashion line, which celebrated individuality and self-expression. It was a roaring success, much to the dismay of Regina, who saw it as a direct challenge to her own brand. Meanwhile, William, ever the opportunist, began to capitalize on Snow White's popularity, using his influence to secure lucrative deals for himself. He presented himself as the supportive stepfather, all the while secretly resenting Snow White for stealing the spotlight. Regina, consumed by envy and fear, devised a plan to crush Snow White's burgeoning success. She spread vicious rumors about her stepdaughter, attempting to tarnish her reputation and destroy her business. But Snow White refused to be deterred. With the support of her new friends, she fought back against the slander. Exposing Regina's hypocrisy and William's deceit to the public, as the truth unraveled, Regina's carefully constructed world began to crumble. Her loyal followers started to desert her, and even William began to question her motives. For the first time, Regina found herself alone, facing the consequences of her actions. And yet, even in this moment of reckoning, she showed no remorse. Instead, she doubled down on her lies, determined to protect her own interests. But the walls she had built around herself proved to be no match for the empathy and understanding Snow White offered. In a stunning turn of events, Snow White extended a hand of forgiveness to her mother, an act that shocked both Regina and William. She realized that true strength lay not in revenge, but in compassion and understanding. With newfound clarity, Regina began to confront the demons that had driven her to such desperate measures. She understood that her obsession with beauty had blinded her to the real source of happiness, genuine human connection. As Regina's empire crumbled, she was left with nothing but the tattered remnants of her reputation and the hollow echoes of her former glory. In the aftermath of Regina's downfall, Snow White emerged as a beacon of hope, using her platform to advocate for inner beauty and self-acceptance. She became a role model for young girls, proving that true beauty comes from embracing who you are, not from conforming to others' expectations. Meanwhile, William, stripped of his wife's wealth and influence, faded into obscurity, his scheming and deceit forgotten. Snow White's journey serves as a powerful reminder that true beauty radiates from within. It also highlights the importance of confronting our inner demons, embracing vulnerability, and extending forgiveness in the face of adversity. And while the story may end here, its lessons continue to echo, urging us all to look beyond appearances and to strive for authenticity in a world that often values superficial qualities. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the captivating reimagining of Snow White. I hope the story has resonated with you, making you question societal norms and embrace the complexity of human emotions. If you enjoyed this tale, please don't forget to like and share. Your support means the world to me. Till next time, remember, true beauty lies not in what we see, but in who we are.